According to this book by MJ DeMarco, there are two things required to attract large sums of money: control and leverage. So the question is whether we can get those. Wealth is made up of two parts: your primary income source and your wealth accelerator. This first part is comprised of your job, while the second part is comprised of market investments. Your job is either hourly or annually. Regardless, it's measured in units of time, by years, or by hours. However, we're limited to 24 hours a day, and we can't work for 100 years. We can't control or leverage time. The primary income source part of the wealth equation is also limited to small numbers. Since you can't control the money you get from your salary, small numbers can't make millionaires. Let's look at the second part of this equation: market investments. This consists of your 401k, index funds, etc. However, we also have a limit here because market investments equals this equation broken out. Compound interest needs time, and this math means that you need time to create wealth. On this chart, we see that 10K will get you over $2.5 million in 40 years. But unfortunately, a 15% return is pretty much impossible, and in 40 years, you'll probably be kind of old. Not to mention that $2.5 million will be worth about a tenth of that in today's dollars probably. When you put it together, this typical wealth equation that most of us have means that we probably can't retire rich when we're 30 like our dreams. So much for FIRE. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job or drop out of school right now. The book might have said that teachers and parents are lying to us by saying that
all we have to do is clip coupons and invest,
when that's a slow form of making money. But this typical path, this process of getting an education, getting a job, saving, and investing is a stable, more typical path that has a greater likelihood of making sure that we don't go poor. Yes, it's true that, as in the book, we can't control the stock market, so suddenly we might lose tons of money. Being able to retire at a goal, say like 60, is not necessarily guaranteed. But the idea is that society is structured this way and not everyone can FIRE. We need doctors, engineers, waiters at a restaurant, the people to make the things that we buy each day. And if we try and get a higher income job and make more money, save more, then things like the stock market crashing won't affect us as much. And so that's why hard work is still important and useful. I work as a consultant, and yeah, trust me, I'm not gonna be rich in 10 years either. We might not be rich, but that's okay. Luckily for us, our happiness is not determined by how rich or how poor we are. This is all assuming, of course, that we have basic necessities and a decent quality of life. We can learn from Dr. Mindy from Don't Look Up.
We really did have everything, didn't we?
Which, by the way, that's a great movie, you should definitely watch it. We should enjoy the process in our relationships, our friends and family, and pursuing our passions when we do have time, and to use the time outside of work or the things that we feel like we're chained to. Use that time outside of those to the best of our abilities, and we can still have a great and happy life. It's not all about FIRE and being rich. There's a certain obsession I see with videos on YouTube about how to accumulate wealth quickly. But as you see mathematically in that equation, there's very, very few people who can actually achieve such a thing of FIRE and be rich enough to get such a luxurious lifestyle and never have to work a day in your lives. As much as I would like that too, I know that it's very unlikely. And so with that in mind, as much as we may try to get that perfect, ideal result, we have to enjoy what we currently have. We don't also want to work super hard every day for the goal of FIRE and then never get there and then not have been enjoying our youth. We can try to work extremely hard for a few years in the hopes that we'll retire early and that building your own business will pay off. But we also need to feel fine for not doing that. And we can still be creative and save and still enjoy our lives, because in both cases of FIRE and frugally living, one day something might happen and you might not have that time to live how you would have liked. In fact, the happiest countries in the world are not the richest. We should still pursue better and better and greater versions of ourselves. But the best life comes from thinking on a daily basis. I'm grateful for what I do have. Thanks so much for joining me today. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more ways to reframe your thinking. I hope you have a great rest of your day.